Welcome to the Worst of the Riot podcast. In today's episode of the show, one thing that got people riled up, we're talking about how more and more people are canceling their streaming subscriptions. We try to go through the reasons for why and a little bit of how streaming services can fix it.
We also talk theories around the popularity of Stanley Cups and why people are going crazy for the newest edition.
And we talk about trouble potentially coming to Walmart's self-checkouts. Why we're trying to warn you to make sure you don't make some big mistakes with that and with gambling. That actually might go hand in hand. Good show today. Enjoy. Catch you next time.
You won't hear a show like this anywhere else. And that's probably for the best. The Worst of the Riot. Radio U.
Buy now, pay later. It's just it's a practice that is expanding more and more throughout the United States, where you probably have seen when you've done online shopping the little symbols that are like pay $50 in 6 installments with Affirm or with Zip or with Klarna. Klarna was a big one. They did a lot of commercials. Well, now it's branching out. Not only when you're doing online shopping, could you buy now, pay later? But coming to Walmart self-checkouts, you can buy now, pay later, thanks to their new partnership with Affirm. They've expanded their partnership, so now you can walk up to a Walmart self-checkout and say, I don't want to pay all $300 right up front. Let me split this into some payments. And they'll do it for you.
I'm in danger.
This is dangerous.
It's dangerous, right? Some of these, in fact, I don't know, all of them perhaps don't charge. They charge like a $2 fee or something like that for using it straight up. But other than that, you're not paying any more if you actually make your payments on time. But if you don't make your payments on time, watch out, buddy. It's trouble.
I think, in my mind, if you're using buy now, pay later at Walmart, that's a horrible idea.
Why do you say that?
Because
versus
if you
where
can't,
else? Where would it be a better idea?
if you're
Anywhere?
well, you think about Walmart just sounds wild anyway for doing this. But if you think about like if you're in this for a car, you do a car in payments.
Yeah.
That makes sense. A car is a large purchase.
Mm-hmm.
Most people can't buy a car straight up.
Yeah.
There's not many things that you would buy at Walmart that you couldn't just buy straight up. So why aren't you paying for the whole thing?
Well, you know what I hear? I hear your privilege showing.
Oh, is that so?
Yeah. Oh, look at Mr. Big Shot. He can afford $150.
I can afford my groceries if I go to Walmart. And if you can't, if you're buying something that is at Walmart that you don't want to pay for up front, because then it's just unnecessary. What is a need at Walmart that you can't pay for up front?
I'm trying to think. Obviously, it's more. I mean, there are bigger ticket items you could buy at Walmart, but I mean, you're right. It's not even like they don't even really sell like appliances there, right? Unless you're getting like a TV.
A TV.
You're not buying a. Do they sell lawnmowers
At Walmart?
Yeah,
Maybe they do. I'm sure someone was exiting saying they do.
I'm sure. Yeah, exactly. Besides all, the concerns that just you can say you're responsible. We all say that. And in technicality, this can be, I think, if used correctly, it can be a tool in your toolbox. If you, it can help you actually, I think, again, if you're very responsible, this can help you save money because it's harder to save money if you have to spend $300 all at once when you don't have $300 versus it's something you do kind of need. And so you spread it out a little bit. I mean, that's what, again, responsible use of like credit cards is for. However, it also just sounds like a pain because you can't just walk up, even though either way would suck, but you can't just walk up to the self-checkout and go, I don't really want to pay $300 today. Let me do the Affirm thing. You have to apply for approval online first, and then they give you a barcode on your phone, and then you scan that. So it's not even like something in the moment that you can do, which though probably keeps it safer, but at the same time, it's not exactly convenient either.
Why pay $300 now when you can procrastinate and possibly play $500 instead?
Yeah. That's right. Be careful. Tread lightly is all we're saying.
Nobody does it better. The Riot Radio U.
Surely you've seen all the videos going around of the people making fools of themselves trying to get the special Valentine's Day Stanley Cups at Target. Have you seen this?
I have seen this.
It's insane. People are, jumping over one another. It's like Black Friday used to be, but it's for cups. Isaiah, do you understand it?
I don't understand it, but I have a theory on why at least some people might be making their way to grab these on the shelves.
Okay, I want to hear your theory, because honestly, I don't even have a theory. I don't understand it. I'm reading here. It's like, whoa, they've leveraged their ability to collab with other brands or whatever. So do lots of things. I don't know. So explain it to me.
Let me give you the rundown. It's not about the cup, Hudson. It's not about this great, amazing cup.
Yeah.
How amazing it is.
Is it amazing?
I don't know that it is amazing. I think it's just an average cup.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the name on the cup and it's the thought of the cup that really matters. I see a group here of people grabbing not one cup, but two.
Yep.
Why would you need two of these? You get one for yourself.
If they're so indestructible
yes.
and so amazing, yeah, you grab one. But I think it's so they can resell them.
They can some people are reselling.
Yeah.
And then I am seeing some guys in there grabbing these cups, even though this does seem like this is kind of a lady thing.
Yeah.
Ladies love the cups for some reason. But I see some guys getting in there grabbing un cup. One very cup. Why would they need a cup?
For
you
a
might
gift.
be wondering. For a gift.
Yeah. Make their girlfriend.
For their wife.
Or girlfriend or
for
wife
their girlfriend.
happy.
And then when you give that to your girlfriend/wife as a present, because they didn't want to go to the store and maybe be involved in the craziness of a lot of these resellers here.
Yeah.
And they want to be able to get their hands on this cup too, but maybe they don't want it that bad. When you show up with this very cup, that's a big deal. Whatever you were just in trouble for, no longer in trouble for.
So those guys either were completely unsuspecting. They knew the Stanley Cup was coming out, the new collab, and they're like, whoever will like this, I'll get it for them. Or they were in big trouble.
In the doghouse, we like to say.
This is the only way to smooth things over.
So if you find yourself, maybe you've been a bad boy as of late. Maybe you are in the doghouse. How do you get out of it? You grab yourself the Valentine's Day Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
Everything is a fix.
Valentine's Day is saved. I'm looking, I guess this is no surprise. People collect them. So they're just putting together, like they just want to have as many different ones as they can, which, sometimes collections, people get a little out of hand for them. But then again, I feel like it's pretty rare that you start like attacking people and stealing stuff for a collection.
Well, it just depends on what it is. If it's limited availability and you're trying to go to the store, sometimes it gets a little dicey in there.
I'll say. It sure does. This is one trend I'm okay with not being a part of. The only Stanley Cup that matters to me is the hockey one.
This is Radio U's Worst of the Riot.
Now with the NFL playoffs on the horizon, the college football championship, March Madness, and more coming up here down the road in just over the course of the next weeks and months. It all seems very exciting. But don't forget that it could also bring with it gambling addiction. Sorry to say it, but now that sports gambling is now legal in 36 states, experts from Rutgers University are warning that particularly for young men, gambling addiction, becoming a problem gambler is more and more likely thanks to just how easy it is to get started and then how hard it can be to stop.
It is quite a wild door that's been opened here in the past couple years with sports gambling, especially because it's on your phone. It's so accessible.
That's why they think it is so much of an issue, because anybody can do it from anywhere
at any time
at this point. Yeah.
There's always a sport going on. There's always something. It's not like it's almost like you're sitting down at the slot machine, just sitting there pressing.
Yeah.
Hoping that at some point you're gonna get something right.
Well, here's a great quote from Leah Nauer. She's the director of the Center for Gambling Studies at Rutgers University. She says, you can be gambling away your house on your mobile phone sitting at the dinner table, and not a single person will know until the devastation of your whole family is complete, which is that's a pretty
Holy aggressive.
dire, yeah. But I mean, that is the extreme case that can be a reality, and that is for many people because, yeah, if you have to go to a casino and sit at a slot machine or a blackjack table to gamble, and that's how you do it, then people are going to notice you're missing. They're going to know where you are. They're going to know, like, it's going to be the red flags will be flying to other people in your life that might be able to help you out. If you're a problem sports bettor on your phone, then it's just so easy for a bunch of money to slip away so quickly and for nobody to know until it's really too late.
Little sneak.
Keep that all to yourself.
Your wife has no idea. I mean, she's going to know if you're hanging out at the casino every day. She's not going to know when you're just deposit into FanDuel, DraftKings, whatever it may be. And all of a sudden, you're making all these bets and losing all this money in just a snap of fingers in your own living room.
Yeah. So, in other words, very publicly share your bets with everybody so they know
exactly.
You're wagering. That's the key.
Make sure you post it on your Instagram story.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's going to stink because you're going to get it wrong. Mm-hmm. You're going to lose money and you're going to be embarrassed. But
accountability.
You need that public embarrassment.
Yeah.
That's what you need.
No, it is true. And, you know, it's always tough to be somebody who just sits here and so many people have fun with it. And then us to tell you, well, don't do it. But at the same time, all of these apps, they all have limits that you're able to set in there and stuff. And obviously, those limits are also very easy to change when you decide that you're, you know what, maybe I lost that one, but let me double down. I'll win it back. That's when it gets dangerous. Starting to think I'll win it back because no matter what you're betting on, that's really not how it works.
Yeah, it's a roll of the dice. It's always a roll of the dice. So when it comes to stuff like this, it's all, it can be fun and like little bits or whatever, but all of a sudden, if it starts getting out of hand, it's not so much fun when you lose all your money. And you know what's even worse is when you have to go to your wife and say, I lost all my money.
Yeah.
That's when it really hits the rock bottom.
Take it from Isaiah.
Oh, thank goodness I'm not.
Oh, hi there.
Worst of the riot.
Crank that up.
Radio U.
If I had to ask you, what do you think the odds are that artificial intelligence causes an extinction of the human race? What would you put those odds at?
Low. They got to be low.
Low?
You got to think it's like 1%, huh?
That low?
I'd say it's that low.
I'll tell you that a survey of over almost 3,000 scientists, experts who had published peer-reviewed AI studies found that they would put the percentage chance on average around 5%.
5%?
Yeah. There's a 1 in 20 chance, according to AI experts, that artificial intelligence will cause the human race to go extinct one day.
See, that seems a little high, 5%.
Does that seem a little dire? What if you put it this way?
There's many things I would choose before it.
They said out of this survey, 68% of researchers think that good outcomes from AI are more likely than bad. However, about half of the people they surveyed gave a non-0% chance of human extinction due to AI. So that means about half of them say there's a 0% chance, so we don't even have to worry. I feel like that's being undersold here. I think that sounds good. Although these are the AI, like if you're an AI expert, don't you think you're more likely to feel that
pro AI?
Yeah, to be pro AI.
You would think so.
Mm-hmm. How do we know that some of these AI experts aren't AI themselves? Who would be a better expert on AI than AI?
It's a lot of AI.
It sure is.
Yeah, I would say there's many things I would choose before it that I'd be more worried about.
Yeah.
Nuclear war.
But do you worry about that more in the short term? Like, I would say in the next year, it's more likely that nuclear war ends human race.
Would you put? Then we can go down a list of things.
Yeah.
What about like a pandemic?
Based off of the last one, I'm gonna say we seem to have that pretty well taken care of. Wouldn't you say?
How about something that we?
Based off of our behavior in the previous one, if another worse one comes along, I feel like it's gonna be the boy who cried wolf situation. So.
We could go asteroid or comet impact.
Yeah,
more or less likely.
I think I'd have to guess AI is more likely than that.
What about the sun engulfing us? That feels more likely.
You think that's more likely than AI?
I think at some point
the sun engulfing us because the sun grows, or because like the ozone disappears.
Maybe like a supernova type thing.
I don't even know what that means.
What about this one then? A super volcano eruption. That happens a lot in movies.
Yeah, I think AI is more likely to kill us all than that.
Climate change. Where do you stand?
I think, you know what? I think I'm more concerned about AI than climate change, if I had to be honest. At least, again, over time, I don't know. Some people could really disagree with that.
Some people are afraid of robots, and I understand that. I've seen the movies, too. But I think as of right now, I feel I've seen a lot of robots do some pretty unimpressive things. Where I stand now on it, I'm not nervous yet.
But I just think AI is different than robots, you know? Like robots, I'm not that afraid of. AI, like disabling the internet and then like lying to people so that AI can have control, like not even becoming sentient just because it kind of like whatever its directive is gets misinterpreted somehow.
You're talking about the movie Eagle Eye.
Sure. I don't know.
You ever seen Eagle Eye? Oh, it's a great AI movie.
Isn't that with Shia LaBeouf?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a great AI movie.
It didn't really stick with me.
Oh, it's a good one. We need to watch that back, and then that'll change how you feel about AI.
Yeah.
You won't trust it so much.
Current AI movie recommendations, I might be more inclined.
Of course, iRobot. That one's even older.
Since the technology is more advanced than it was when Eagle Eye came out. I don't know. You know what? Let me sum it up this way. I think the AI, there's way more uncertainty with it. I think even with climate change, like you just kind of, it's all priced in. AI, there's any vast range of outcomes with AI. And so that's why I rate that as a higher concern, even though it might not be a very high concern.
I would take super volcano over AI.
Radio U's Worst of the Riot podcast.
You know, one place where subscribers are going down, 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 streaming services. A new report from the Wall Street Journal has found that November of last year, customer cancellations for major streaming platforms rose to 6.3% compared to a year prior where it was only at 5%. That's a meaningful difference.
That's a whole percent.
That's a whole percent of what is a big number overall. So the bigger the number overall, it feels like you have more to lose. But that also means that every percent is bigger. And so when you go up over a percent year over year of people canceling their subscription services, their Netflix, their Amazon Prime Video, their Paramount Plus, and on, it's a pretty big deal. And so now the question is, how do these streaming services turn it around?
Well, you got to ask yourself first, why is everyone stopping? Why is everyone unsubscribing? Why is everybody canceling?
Why would you say that is?
Part of it is the price hikes. Mm-hmm. It's got to be the price hikes. And then also, the other part of it is that I think might be a little bit maybe undersold, is with some of these services, they're doing the thing where the family plan or the subscriptions, your whole family can't use it, right?
You can't share password sharing.
And so when I think about password sharing, I think of it as mom and dad pays for it, the whole family uses it, right?
Yep.
And one thing that they probably don't talk about is the people that are most likely to use it are the kiddos, right? The college kid.
Sure, yeah.
And maybe mom and dad aren't using it as much. Like if my parents subscribed to Netflix and I was using it and I could no longer use it, they would probably unsubscribe because they're not going to use it if I can't. So why would they even have it? I
have that very similar situation going on in my family right now where we had been sharing, yes, granted, across multiple states, finally caught up to us, our Netflix passwords.
Frauds.
Yeah. And my brother had paid for it. But now I feel like my wife might have used it more than anybody. We pay for a different streamers. We pay for Max, and everybody uses that. I don't know how much they use it, but we pay for it. We're going to keep that. I don't know that my brother is going to keep Netflix if everybody else is cut off of it. If half of us aren't able to use it anymore that had been using it. And so that for everybody who decides to break down and pay for a Netflix account because they got cut off because of password sharing, there has to be people like us where there was several people subscribed or several people using it. And then the one person that was in charge of paying for it is like, well, if everybody else can't use it, I'm not going to pay for this. And so,
because I don't really use it that much anyway.
I think
it was more for everybody else.
Yeah, there's got to be a give and take there. It can't just be the people that weren't paying before. There's a reason they weren't paying before.
Exactly.
Using the password. So, and the prices just keep going up too. That's
the price hikes.
Mm-hmm. And then if you don't want the price to change, you're oftentimes now, like this is going on with Amazon Prime Video, where they are now introducing ads unless you decide to pay more. And so it just makes it very difficult. Plus, well, I mean, so you can't, because the price goes up, you just can't have all of them. It's too much.
You got to just pick one, maybe two, the ones that you really like, but you can't have all of them.
And then you think about this too. You think it used to feel like there was so much stuff that was streaming exclusive. And so it was important to have like each and every one of the different streaming services. Doesn't it feel like that's less the case now? Like Netflix is the only one that puts out their own shows that are only on Netflix. I guess Disney Plus too. But generally, the rest of the stuff that you want to watch, if you just get a YouTube TV or whatever subscription, then you have access to just about everything you want to watch. And so you don't need all these individual subscriptions too.
I think what I've taken away, you need to let us share. If my mom and dad want to give me the password, I should be able to use it.
That's their choice.
Yes, they don't have to share with me, but if they want to pay for it and share, why can't they share? You go talk to my mom, you ask her if she wants to share with me. She wants to share, we can share.
Wasn't that a great Riot clip? While you're here, you should watch more of our videos and subscribe so you don't miss what we do next.